So now then, we talked about Vanessa's kit yesterday, right? And we're going to dive a bit deeper into the teams that you're going to be able to run for Vanessa now and in the future. Now, level 125 is going to be at least slightly restricted. From what I was told, you could get a max of 3 units up to level 125 in Season 10, but I'm unsure of the exact details, and I've asked to see if I could get more specific ones before the 30th. So there's not complete confusion. Maybe they're going to post info on their Twitter. I'm unsure. But as of right now, we're going to go into it with the thought that you're only going to be able to get 3 units up to 125, which means that a lot of teams that are going to be good won't be good right away. But I want to give the best options for the future especially. But I think some of these teams you'll be able to kind of make use of right away, and some of them will be more in the future, slash some more so on JP, because obviously, you know, I include a team with Julius, but it's not like Julius can be used as much on global, because on JP he does like double to almost triple the damage in certain situations. So what you need to know for Vanessa, right? If you want to check the full kit breakdown, I have a video on it, obviously. Basically, if the team is a rainbow team, remember she is purple. If the team is a rainbow team, she applies total silence, and then she has mobility deplete. She reduces mobility on her skill 2, her ult, and also her combo. Those are the 2 main things I want you guys to take away. And also silence on the skill 2. Now, besides that, when she reaches 30 turns on most of her extra abilities, she gets a bunch of debuffs from reduced damage, increased damage taken, SP -8, and also reduced defense. But one thing I want to kind of note is that a lot of games on, especially now, I guess, actually, even more so, Vanessa is going to make these games a bit longer, first of all, because obviously total silence. And second of all, if both teams have Vanessa, if not, one team's going to destroy the other, obviously. But also, like, just on JP with level 125, remember, DPSs now have over 100k HP easily. And also, games go past 50 turns a lot of the times. So it's not really surprising to get to 30 turns a lot of the time, especially if Vanessa is going to be blocking you from doing big damage turn 1. Then you're going to be able to build up right after. So we got some teams to go over. And I'm going to specify which teams are more so for JP and which teams more so for global. Now, this one is one more so, I guess, for JP because Julia's skill page is not, the new one isn't out yet. And to kind of note what exactly it does and why it's actually insane, it's because he gets now 15% damage increase per 10 speed, right? Which already gives him a base damage increase, but then when you use it with the speed unit, obviously increasing it even further. Now, the team with Rill is actually going to be pretty good, and the reason being is because Rill is able to increase the mobility or speed. So in cases where the cleave would work, you could skill 2, and also it's going to give you damage reduction. But if not, then what you're able to do is increase the mobility of probably Vanessa to get multiple turns in, and or Julius if you want to go for the stun, right? Either or right away. But if you go for that mobility increase, it's basically going to give them access to almost 2 full turns, because obviously you could get higher than 100% mobility, but it's just going to subtract 100 when you use a skill. So let's say you're at 180%, then you subtract 100, and then you're still going to be at 80% after you use one of your skills. So for Vanessa, this is very good, because if she could use her ult, add her skill 2 or skill 2 into ult, I think that would be the better case, skill 2 into ult, because of the fact that her protection, you don't want the protection to go away. So with Rill, it's actually going to be a very good usage of this. Now, there's also cases where against Spirit Dive, you could use the skill 1, because what does the skill 1 do? -3 SP. So unless Noel uses her skill 2 first turn, then Yuno won't be able to get his ult, and then it's going to be kind of like Yuno's a sitting goose. So Rill and Vanessa together will be a pretty good combo. Now, keep in mind, this is stationary for the Chaos debuff for Vanessa, so I just want to put that out there. Now, this team is going to be more usable on global, okay? And why am I putting William? Well, basically, it's to give, you know, a speed increase. So in this team, how it's going to work, and one thing I want to talk about Noel and why she's Vanessa's best partner is because Noel is the quickest unit in the game. And then Vanessa, her combo, what does it put? 50% mobility reduction. So not only is Vanessa going to be protected, but she's also going to reduce the mobility of most likely either a cleave unit, the DPS, or Charlotte, okay? Right? That's the 3 main things. I would say Charlotte, just being able to reduce that damage reduction by 54, not allowing it to go up, is insane. So something like that is a very good combo where you're able to reduce the mobility as Noel's the first attacker. So Noel 4 speed is huge, right? This is how I have it. You could put it with defense, but I have it with attack. Especially on this team, Noel doesn't really need defense. Reason being, they're going to try and target Vanessa, right? That's the main thing. Now, something to mention is that there's not maxed out damage reduction. You only have 30% and 34, but then you also got to consider silence, damage. She also puts, what's it called? Weapon disarm, level 5, which is a 42% damage lower on the enemies. So yes, you don't have maxed out damage reduction on your side, but Vanessa is going to be playing around with the enemies. Yuno is going to be playing around with the enemies, and it's going to work out very well. So if you're able to speed up Yuno, which is kind of the meta right now, on JP, it works out very well. And since Yuno's at 109 speed, it does go by pretty quick, right? So William, 4 speed him, and then you'll be set, right? The 4 speed on William is actually quite crucial in this type of team comp. So I just want to kind of put that out there. But this team should be pretty doable on global. Now this one is a more so JP team. Okay, the reason being, you want to get Noel up because obviously Noel has to be up to be quicker because you get the speed from the level 125. But then you want to get Vanessa up. But then you also, for this type of team comp, you need the whole team 125 basically. So it won't work. It won't work. I'm just going to put that out there. Vetto basically becomes God when he transcends. And the reason being is because of his level 125 passive, him getting extra stats, and just like that's the main thing, right? So it's basically the Noel effect, where he at the start of a turn a bit differently. It applies differently, but it's the same thing where it taunts 2 people. It applies enhanced taunt. You cannot remove enhanced taunt, which makes Vetto very good, right? It makes it so that no one could really focus out on Vanessa. And then what works very well in together is that Vanessa can silence, for example, either Yuno or Julius from using their skill too. Okay, so that's kind of what I want to make clear, is that it's going to be very hard to actually touch Vanessa, right? Very hard. Very, very hard, depending on how it goes. So, yeah, also Vetto has immortality alongside him being way more tanky. So keep all of that in mind, right? And then Magna, the reason why Magna's here is because it's going to be hard, right? You're going to want to kill Vanessa, but then if you don't get rid of Magna right away, he's going to be able to start getting his stuns, start going crazy, start getting a lot of turns, and start doing damage. But because of that immortality, no matter what, he's guaranteed 1 turn, plus he cannot be stunned, so he's anti-Julius, and even anti-Yuno in a way. The only thing that I could see, right, is, honestly, this is something that is probably pretty good, where you could just, like, combo with Yuno, right? Yuno has immortality removal into Magna. But if you do that to Magna, right, you still have Noel, right, which is the main thing. But then you're allowing Vanessa to go crazy, and then you're allowing Noel to really attack without any damage reduction. Because if you're focusing Magna, then Vanessa is kind of left untouched, right? But it's very few cases that Yuno is really going to pop up and be able to kill Magna in that exact scenario, okay? But I just want to put that out there, that, I mean, for this team specifically, it is a possibility that you'd rather do this, okay? I mean, it is a possibility. This one is more untested, but I think this team in itself could be very toxic in certain scenarios, okay? In certain scenarios. Okay, I'm not saying it's perfect, but it is a possibility that it can be toxic. Now, if you want to kind of switch it up too, you could also put William here with the 4 speed and kind of guarantee that if Magna is not targeted, then he does go. Now, one thing I do want to say is I think Vanessa is going to blind a lot of people from actually attacking other units turn 1 because they want to get rid of Vanessa as quick as possible. So keep that in mind. We're going to have to see how she plays in game, but I think this one could work out pretty well. Now, this one is also very, very similar, okay? But this one prioritizes more so speeding Magna up. So unless he's killed by Noel right away, then this one should work out decently and well. Okay, and you're still going to have the toxicity of Vetto and Magna, right? Now, this one is one that I personally think is going to be ran quite a bit on global, okay? And why is it? Well, it's because of triple debuffs, right? You know total silence, you know mobility lower, okay? And you know skill 2 silence. Vanessa skill 2 silence. Vanessa mobility lower. Lotus mobility lower. Lotus speed lower. So you put these 3 together, I mean, it's going to go crazy, right? So I definitely think that this team is probably going to dominate. And I mean, it kind of sucks. I hate Lotus being used, but it's probably the team I'm going to showcase Vanessa with. Okay? I mean, yeah, it probably is going to be the team I'm going to show Vanessa with. So just got to keep that out there. Now, I feel that a team with Mimosa would go very well. She has her res, but the thing is, it's just hard to really build around it. Okay? I do kind of think that maybe in the future, like more so on JP, but in the future, if you go for Julius, right, and then Mimo, I think this could work. Now, the reason is, right, at this point, let's think about it. Julius has his second life. Even if he loses his first one, it's fine. Noel, Vanessa are going to be able to stop any type of cleave teams. Plus, they're going to be silenced. Julius won't be able to skill too. Mimosa will then be able to either res Julius, give him another 2 lives, or go for the res on Vanessa to, like, later on in the match to get her up at 30 turns and then be able to apply that passive, right? So I think this one could work. Now, I feel like a team with Charlotte would be nice. I just don't know how it would work. I mean, you could easily slot Charlotte in here, right? And then have a DPS. You cannot put Yuno though, so it's more so something that's gonna work in the future, right? Now, you could put Julius for sure. It's just that his damage is not going to be enough. Like, I just don't think it's going to work as well now in this current meta, right? But it is possible that Julius can go pretty crazy. But because you want to use Vanessa and you can't, like, put Lotus with Julius in this type of thing, obviously those two together are crazy because Julius mobility lower and also, well, full the mobility depletion and then Lotus speed lower. But it's just going to be very hard to use Charlotte on global, but I think this team can for sure work, right? So what have you been able to garner from this is that Vanessa and Noel are very, very good together and going to be used in pretty much all the teams because you want to just having the ability to either, well, basically to protect Vanessa, first of all, if you go first, and then also mobility deplete, or not mobility deplete, but lower the enemy's mobility to like completely make like a difference of how the game goes from just that one combo is huge, right? And then it's really, for the most part, building these 2 slots, right? What units do you want to put in these 2 slots? But yeah, no, I feel like Noel is going to be Vanessa's best partner, but let me know what teams you plan on using, what teams you think will work very well. These are the teams that I came up with and I think are going to end up working pretty well. Like I said, the team that I'm probably going to stick with is going to be, oh, I guess I changed the unit, but it should be this one for now. I think it's going to work very well. Okay. I think so. Now, could I be wrong? Sure. Sorry, not that team. I'm tripping. Where did I guess I removed, you know. But yeah, this is the team that I think is gonna work pretty well. The only problem is gonna be dying, but then you gotta consider, right? So, all right. Let's put something in mind. It's gonna really depend a bit on luck with this team. All right. So I do want to kind of put that out there. Okay, so it's just like I'm gonna have to actually test it out to see what is better between having here or like Vanessa. Like, what way do I want to have it? Like, do you want to protect more? Is Vanessa going to be able to survive turn 1? The answer is most likely yes. So I think that putting the DPS with Noel might be better in some cases, but then you lose the mobility depletion, which is going to be bad, right? So I'm unsure. You guys let me know what you think is better, which combo you think is going to work out better, either saving or getting the mobility depletion, because killing Vanessa turn 1 is not happening. Do you want to know why? No one can use their ultimate, no one can use their skill 2 besides Spirit Dive Okay, Spirit Dive is the only one who's really able to do something against Vanessa, but then even at that, Vanessa is quicker than So just want to put that out there, right? So yeah. I really do think this team should work out, okay? The exact way, unsure. And then obviously on global, on JP, teams with Magna, teams with Julius are going to go even crazier. But like one thing that's really cool is that Julius cannot turn 1 cleave anymore. So like just being able to stop Julius from really going crazy is going to be one of Vanessa's biggest bonuses turn 1, right? And it's gonna be good because Vanessa can't die to it, right? That's the thing. She can't get skill 2 killed. Now it is possible that people try to put this silent skill page on Julius, but that would be a bit odd, I guess is the right word. Could it work? Maybe, but I don't know. It's just the silence turn 1 is gonna be something people are gonna most likely have to accept, and it's also not like people have a bunch of these skill pages max duped, right? I've only got one. Where is it? Where is it? I only have one max dupe. Then I have two just here. So, you know, like, I could only put this on one unit. That's all I'm saying. So, you know, it's not like Julius too. He won't be getting, especially once you get this skill page, you want to put this skill page on Julius. So, definitely Vanessa, absolutely amazing. Gonna make use of all the top units. Unfortunately, not really great because she needs to be on the mono team, so it doesn't really work out, but it's fine. I just am very excited for Vanessa. Let me know what teams you think are going to be coming with her down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.